3 o'clock. I think we all sound like David regarding 6:30. We're very excited. Let's get into it. So here's where I'm at. It's a simple question. Everybody's free to answer whatever the hell they like. I just don't think I should be judged harshly for my opinion. Are you satisfied if the season ended tonight? And my answer is hell no. Because I don't apologize for the standard I hold Michigan State to. We are a blue blood. I do believe it's Michigan State and Duke and North Carolina and Kentucky and UCLA. Like, we are that team. Go back over the last 25 years. We are one of an elite crew of 6 teams as far as the NCAA tournament go. Not only with Final Fours, but tournament wins. I view Michigan State as a blue blood, which means you don't get your jollies and touch your chandelier over a Sweet 16. Now, I don't believe this team's that good. Not in relation to MSU's elite teams. And no, I don't believe they're national title good. But guess what? I think they're absolutely capable of beating Kansas State and the winner of FAU Tennessee. Did I have them here? No. But once you're here, you may as well sit down and order dinner. Like, I'll be disappointed they lose tonight. I'll be probably angry, to be quite honest with you, because I don't put value on Sweet 16s. So, no, I'm not satisfied. And now it's Final Four or bust. That's how it works for me. When you make the tournament, that's fine. You know what week 1 is? Just don't trip over your ding-ding. That's all week 1 is. The real tournament begins tonight. So for me, and Rico and Evan and David will all have their own takes, it is Final Four or bust for me. And I don't know if many Spartan fans feel that way, but I'd love to hear from you guys. You bitch and moan. You sound like alley cats who haven't been fed in 2 weeks that we don't talk Spartan basketball. Okay, well, here it is. Show me you actually give a damn. There's a reason we don't do it that often. There's about 10 fans in this town. 248-539-9797. I believe it's Final Four or bust. Go ahead and say I'm a bad fan and a bleep hole New Yorker. I've heard it all before. Rico, where are you at?
Well, Mike, you said something, and I'm gonna break down the vernacular that you threw out there. Satisfied and happy, 2 separate things. I told you at the beginning of the tournament, if they make it to the Sweet 16, this team had a lot of deficiencies, so much inconsistent play that, yeah, if they made it to the Sweet 16, okay, yeah, guys, based off of what I saw this year, satisfied. Not happy. Happy is when you do expect more. But last time I checked, Jason Richardson and Mo Pete and all those guys, Draymond ain't coming through the tunnel. This team has its limitations. But you're here. You're playing Kansas State. A lot of the teams that people pick to win the East have all gone bye-bye. You knocked out one in Marquette. Mm-hmm. I do believe that, yes, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. You're in the East right now that you could win. You're favored to win this game tonight, and I think that you'd be favored to win between Florida Atlantic and Tennessee as well. Absolutely. It should be Final Four or bust now. At the beginning of the tournament, I was hoping that it would make it this far, but now things have changed. I'm with you. If they lose tonight, yeah, I'll be disappointed. Because I'll be disappointed, Mike, because it would be another wasted opportunity. I would be disappointed the same way when they lost to UConn in the Elite Eight and they were better than UConn. So that's why I would be disappointed. But looking at where this team was and how frustrating they are, you made it to the Sweet 16. I'm not going to change. I'm satisfied. But that doesn't mean that I'm not expecting more now.
Okay. Evan, Final Four or bust, yes or no?
1,000,000%. It's kind of like what Rico said. The only team in this little bracket that I really feared for Michigan State to get there was Purdue. They were bounced right off the rip. And so now when you see the matchups come, I thought going into it, I wasn't fearing USC by any means. It was Marquette. And then usually Michigan State doesn't play well when the player of the year of a conference is on a team, and they shut that kid down, whether it was foul trouble, whether it was his hand or whatnot. Now I look at their draw. Should Kansas State bother me? Not really, right? If they really don't. They got 2 players that they need to shut down. The way the defense is playing, I think that they need to get that done. And, Mike, if you were to ask me last Thursday when we got to Las Vegas, Evan, I'm telling you right now, Michigan State's going to play FAU or Tennessee in the Elite Eight. Are we going to the Final Four? I'd be like, why are you even asking me that question? Of course they are. So now everything has moved.
Changed.
Yes, 100%. So if they don't get there, I'm not happy with them getting to the Sweet 16 because I'm with you. I expect more. And the Sweet 16, all it is you won 2 games you probably should have won, right? But because the last couple years, Spartan fans are, well, we can't get out on the first weekend. Tom's lost it, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the chance to redeem everything and shut every last person up. Because I think right now Michigan State is in as good of a position as they have been since 2020 when all that went out. Because, yeah, the team didn't perform to the expectations that we have as Spartan fans. But as the season progressed, you're like, yes, they have guards that can score. Where Michigan State in the past have not had guys that could go one-on-one, create a basket for themselves, and now they have that. So if they don't make this Final Four, I am so beyond pissed. It's not even funny.
And Mike. And before we get to David, let me give you something, Mike, because I know you like numbers and analytics and things like that.
Yes.
You're going up against Kansas State, your favorite. Kansas State, in the games that they've lost, everybody's talking about Marquise Noel, and, he's the short point guard who could score and do all of that. But when Kansas State has lost, you know what the magic number is? 13. They have at least 13 or more turnovers, which means Marquise doesn't value the ball as much. Michigan State's going to put 3 defenders on him, not just one where he could wear him down, but they could rotate different guys, bigger point guards, and try to make him make those mistakes. And they also get out-rebounded. This is a game where I hate to say it, but you may have to rely on Matty Sissoko going back out there getting you 8 to 10 rebounds. But, yeah, this game against Kansas State, this is one that you should win. And, yeah, I agree with Evan. If you told me it was going to come down to then between Tennessee and Florida Atlantic, I would be like, yeah, whatever. I would have been like, Evan, give me one of those gummies.
Right, exactly. It's wild to think that, everybody talks favorable draws, and I'm kind of a naysayer when it comes to that because I'm like, you're going to have to beat good teams in the NCAA tournament. I don't care if it's the first game or the last one. You have to beat these teams. But this draw is really favorable for the Spartans. The fact that they got to play the first 2 in Columbus, now they're in New York City where there's a big Spartan fans there, right? You guys have been there more so than I have.
Yeah.
And you're going against a coach in Tang who has his experience with being an assistant with Baylor?
Well, this is the point. I mean, you should have a coaching advantage. It's not John Calipari on the other side. It's not Bill Self. It's not Roy Williams. It's not Jay Wright. No disrespect to Jerome Tang, but if Tom Izzo's worth his weight, you have a plan that is superior to his plan. Whether your players carry it out or not is a separate matter. But guys, here's the other thing. You both have nailed it. You have to alter your expectations sometimes when you have opportunities. I mean, whether you think this team is that good or not, the point is you're in the NCAA tournament. What have we talked about all year? Who's any good? We don't know who's any good. Mm-hmm. Everyone's kind of the same. Well, why would I not then say, hey, I believe we can beat Kansas State. I believe we can beat the winner of the other side of the bracket. Yeah, man, I don't know that I've ever entered a tournament where I've said it's okay to lose. I mean, last year, my whole thing was, please don't lose to Foster Lawyer, and then we're probably going to get destroyed by Duke. I'm kind of done watching this team. That's a rare moment. And I was pissed. I was pissed all year long. I didn't like the team, and I was kind of happy for the season to end because I was spite watching by that point.
And the only reason I think this team is a little bit different than in years past, when they go down in games, they went down. These last 2 games, when USC came back and when Marquette went up in the second half,
they found an answer.
They didn't collapse, right? They even went down 4, and it's like, okay, we got this. It's only 2 baskets. Before, 4 points might have been 40, right? And they couldn't anything. And you asked me this morning before we started the show. You said we'll know in the first 5 minutes on whether or not they're going to win this game. And I said that's partially true because Maddie in the first 38 minutes of that game was like, oh my goodness. And then the last 2, all of a sudden he's Akeem Olajuwon. He's blocking everything. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, out there with 4 fouls, playing super aggressive. Like, wow. Okay.
So it might be a different group of guys than we thought we were getting going into it.
Maybe their experience plays. And fellas, all I meant by the first 5 minutes is you knew they were there to play against Marquette by the first 5 minutes.
Not turning it over. Well, except for AJ when he turned it over in the first possession.
5 minutes, and they hit the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, you're going to that commercial break, and you're going, all right, boys are here to play.
Mm-hmm. Like, that's like, what, 11-4 or something like that?
Yep.
Like, yeah, okay,
and
start.
they were crisp. They were guarding. You go, okay, we at least got our feet underneath us. So
right. Aside from the first play of the game when AJ got his pocket picked, because I was like, oh, this is going to be a long day.
That was awesome, by the way. That's something you have to go and watch and rewind. Like, wait, how did he get stripped like that? Just dribbling the ball up the court casually? Like, oh, my goodness.
248-539-9797. So let's rap about it. I think it's Final Four or bust. I'm going to be pissed if they lose tonight. I'd love to know from Spartan fans where you're at. Yeah, go ahead.
Does that fall on Mr. Izzo?
What do you mean?
Let's say they lose by 10 to 15 points tonight. Is that on coaching? I mean, obviously we haven't seen how the game plays out.
This is where I get myself in trouble. You're not allowed to criticize him. I say yes.
No, hold on. I'll say that, Evan, if it's one of those where you don't foul and you're up 3 or something like that and you lose, yes. If you go out there and Michigan State just stinks and they're turning the ball over, no, because that's why I believe that players play. But, yeah, if it comes down to a decision in the final minute of the game and you refuse to foul and they ended up winning in overtime like the Iowa game, that's absolutely on time.
There's also a video of Tang. He's holding a T-shirt that says, follow up 3.
I would love to know where he got it because I'd like one.
I saw this yesterday, and I was like, oh, my goodness. I can't believe he has that shirt.
That was made for me. 248-539-9797. David, your thoughts. I mean, obviously you're hate watching. I know you don't want them. But, like, if you are putting yourself in the perspective of, I hate this school, but I have to give you my opinion on them, and you've lived here your whole life, do you believe it is fair as a 7 seed for us sitting here as 3 Spartans to go, look, it's Final Four or bust?
See, here's the thing, and you're right. Take hate out of it. This is just straight opinion on Michigan State, and you all have kind of already said it. But I compare this to Michigan making this college football playoff. Expectations change when you looked and TCU sitting there, and you're like, oh, final. We got to be in the championship game. It's the way things are playing out. FAU, you said it, Evan, FAU in Tennessee, I believe within my heart you will be a favorite in both of those games.
Hey, you know what, David? We are on to Kansas State.
But you're favored against Kansas State, and you're the 7th seed. Yes,
we are on to Kansas State.
Expectations change when you look at the field in front of you. Yes, Final Four or bust.
Am I treating this like Michigan and TCU right now? Because that's how I kind of feel. Now, I feel like that fan.
Now, I'm hoping like the other side happens when my team lost. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping yours does too. But
I respect that.
Take that away. Yes, it's Final Four or bust.
I just don't. Izzo ain't that coach that's going to allow that. Not being self-aware.
Yeah, don't run a trick play on the goal line, okay? Early in the game.
248-539-9797. Your calls next, 97.1.